Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning podcast brought to you commercial free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the Slow County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 0111191.
How pathetic can some people be?
You know, all seriousness, I've been having a lot of hang-ups lately about homosexuality. I don't know why I just haven't. For a long time, I thought maybe one of my roommates was gay. So finally last night when he asked me to slow dance naked with him in the strobe light, I said, "Hey, man, are you gay?" He said, "No." I said, "Let's dance."
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
How come either of us have nothing to say about that?
We need to have a conversation. The gayest thing your roommate ever asked you to do, but it wasn't gay. But it wasn't gay. But it wasn't gay. Coming up next.
No, we're not having that.
Yes, we are. We are. Matt Peretta, if you're listening. Oh my God,
Matty P.
It's a good one. Matty P.
Hey, that's the guy you're always talking about, right?
I don't know if I'm always talking about him. I may have brought him up before. It was a long time ago, back when we were in college, like community college.
Community? Who has roommates in community college? I guess I did.
My senior year of high school, I moved out. Yeah, and then you lived downstairs in your own apartment.
Yeah, and
you had Kevin, or probably other people too. I don't know. But anyways, a guy stole his roommate's cake. He ate it. And then he had an allergic reaction to the peanut butter that was in it because he was allergic to peanuts. Had to call 911. They gave him an EpiPen shot, and
I love the smell of Matt.
Is that where that comes from? Matty
now
P?
he wants his roommate.
Does it come from Matt P?
I love the smell of Matt.
I was talking about wrestling mats, and you cut the S off, you jerk.
Are you sure?
Yes, I remember that exactly.
There's a deeper connection
I
to this
love
whole
the
thing.
smell of wrestling mats.
I love the smell of Matt.
I don't know that's doctored, okay? Are you serious?
That is doctored. I swear
Like,
to
seriously. I think you were talking
never
about...
say,
I think you were
love the
talking about
smell
your
of
gay
Matt.
roommate.
No.
I love the smell
gay.
of Matt.
He wasn't gay. At least, he never did any gay stuff with me. But the closest gay
Did
thing
he ever
did that
convince you
wasn't
to do
gay,
things
coming
that you
up.
didn't want to do based on his smell?
No.
I love the smell of Matt.
You doctored that. It said mats.
I don't know. That does not sound doctored. Listen
the
to it.
smell they give off.
I don't know. It happened so long ago that I grabbed it from the machine.
years
I
old
love
at
the
least.
smell of Matt.
That's a pretty hard end on the end of that, Matt. I didn't take the S off that.
Sometimes I really pronounce things. Anyways, this guy stole his roommate's cake. You had a roommate. You made him very sick. You made some chicken. You didn't clean up the counter.
Yeah, because I didn't like the smell of them, really, to be honest with you.
I love the smell of Matt.
I was like, let me kill this guy with some salmonella because I hate the way he smells. He smelled like onions. He smelled like onions, but then he also
BO.
and then also sometimes he smelled like BO because he liked onions on things, but I think he only ate like a lot of onions on things to mask the fact that he had inherent BO.
But sometimes he would also wear a lot of cologne. He wore that cologne called Curve. It was actually a pretty good smelling.
Yeah, it smelled like Curve and onions.
And yeah, and I don't remember him smelling like BO at all. But I didn't live with him.
Oh God, that guy, man, he did.
I couldn't
I'm like,
believe where you
every
guys
time
moved
he
in
came
together.
home, I'm like, dude, did you just go to Subway and get extra onions?
Are the onions there extra strong?
No, it's just he ate Subway a lot. I'm like,
We got to get to this story.
Where'd you go to? Subway? No, I'd rather talk
I
about
love
this.
the smell of Matt.
I don't even care what
This
happened
is a
to this
really
guy's
good
house.
story. This is a really good story, especially if you've ever had a roommate that took something out of the fridge that was yours. So these guys had a policy. They didn't share food. They didn't share groceries. Each of them had their own shelves in the pantry. Each of them had their own refrigerator in the kitchen.
Wow.
Mini fridge.
That's next level.
So
That's
that
next
is
level.
next level.
The
This prick
only thing that's not next level is like a lock.
This guy
if you're gonna go that far, get a lock.
goes into his roommate's refrigerator when he's gone for the day, finds a chocolate cake in there. I'm having some cake. eats the chocolate cake. Not just a piece, but the whole thing. It wasn't very big. It was a mini fridge.
Unlimited.
Diarrhea coming up.
Uh-oh.
Because he was allergic to peanuts. And the guy had made it with some peanut butter. Apparently, he said he didn't taste it at the time. His throat started swelling shut. He had to call 911. 911 shows up. The ambulance comes in. The paramedics give him a shot of epi. He's good. They take him to the hospital just for further evaluation.
Too fat.
Then he gets
Fatty.
Eat the whole
he gets
cake.
a check, or I'm sorry, he gets a bill from the hospital for several $1,000s. That'll teach you eat your roommate's food, right? No. He tells his roommate he thinks he should pay for the hospital.
Oh my God, are you serious? This goes back to yesterday in the cooler, the cutoff cooler, the fingertip cutoff cooler. Like, people gonna sue because they don't know how to use a device. Like, you ate it. You ate. It's not like the roommate shoved the cake into his face, unbeknownst to him. He ate the cake. Whatever risk is absolved there because of your choices, that's on you, Jack.
Because you stole it. It's not that you just ate it. It's not like they lived together. They shared groceries. So-and-so would make this. Yeah. So-and-so would make that. Everybody was on the same page. Who knows that his roommate even knew he had a peanut allergy? I mean, I don't know everything about you. I don't know everything about, I don't know everything about my roommates in the past. You find that out as you live with them.
And the thing is,
sometimes you don't want to find out.
It's not like you handed him the piece of cake either. Like the guy that he's suing did not hand him the piece of cake. He stole it from that guy.
Like, we found out, my roommate and Jeff's friend as well, Ernie, would go into my computer room, or the third bedroom we had set up with a computer. Mm-hmm. And when I was gone, he would look at porn for hours. But he wasn't smart enough to delete the history. So we printed out the whole history and then invited him over to a friend's house for a barbecue, pasted it on the wall, and then hid. And when he came in, he saw it, and then he left.
He turned around and walked out. I felt bad for that. I really did feel bad for that.
We are terrible people. We thought
it was one of those things we thought it was funny until the reaction. And he was so embarrassed that he turned around and walked out. And I was like, oh, dude, I don't know if I could ever talk. This is like one of my best friends. I don't know if I could ever talk to him again. There was a period of time of about 3 days where I thought, man, I might not ever talk to this person again. You know, you should have lived with these guys that put their food in their own refrigerator, because you guys used to do this kind of stuff. You'd be like, oh, my name's on that. You can't eat that, and that kind of stuff. I've never been a big fan of that. But you wouldn't have had any problem with the cake.
I like nuts.
See, you like nuts.
I do.
I love the smell of mac.
I like nuts.
I like dicks too.
I guess so. You like it all. You like it all.
You know,
except for some things. Except for some things.
The rest of the day off.
There's some things that you do not like.
I don't like to read.
There you go.
Anyways, so they went to social media. His friend is now talking about suing his roommate for the medical bills after he went into his private fridge, stole his cake, and then ate it.
That is just ridiculous.
And here's the kicker. Some of the friends are actually taking the guy's side, saying, yeah, maybe, since you guys are roommates, you could pay for half of it.
If that's the case, then nobody liked the roommate with the cake. Like they disliked him so much that they're like, we're willing to see past common sense just to get this guy busted.
Wow. Anyways, the roommate that made the cake, that had his cake stolen, is now looking for a new apartment.
You come across like such a prick sometimes.
Yeah, that guy does. Yeah. You're right about that.
How much you got in there? Can I just really go?
I'm still hanging on to the gem to see if it.
Oh, it's just getting plowed on other people's
No.
The
plow's not even that my favorite.
When you have balls coming at your face, you want to have enough beers to where you don't care.
And that would explain why.
I like dicks too.
There you go.
Congratulations to this peanut allergic son of a bitch that stole the cake.
I love the smell of mac.
Very clean cut guy in high school.
That's why you like the way he smelled.
I was preppy. Yeah. I was kind of like, we were full on preppy kids, but we were put together. Our cars were very clean. We only dated.
You know, preppy's a term that the younger kids are using now.
Or it's coming back. Huh?
It means that you are put together. It takes on what they do is they take our words, the words that we used, and they reappropriate them with new meaning. So which confuses the hell out of me, because when my daughter refers to something as preppy, I'm thinking one thing. I'm thinking Brad with a cardigan and a BMW convertible pulling up to the homecoming dance and picking up Molly Ringwald.
Yes, and that's what it meant.
Right. No, it just means that you're put together. At least that's what I can take from the context of it. In the 25 examples that she's given me from it.
So as your kids would say today, Matt was preppy. I was pretty preppy too. And so anyways, after high school got over with, we were looking for a new roommate.
Two preppy guys just living together, huh?
I love the smell of Matt.
No, there was three of us. Out of high school, I lived
Are you wink wink preppy enough to live here?
I lived with Brian, who was a year older. He worked at a food warehouse where he put orders together for food trucks, like Cisco.
That's not preppy. That's not a preppy job. That's a real job.
No, he was not. He was not preppy. And then we had JB, and you met JB in college.
JB was far from preppy.
Worked at a gas station. Turned a wrench. Anyways, we were
little
losing
guy's
JB.
Disease. Big time.
I don't know why we were losing JB. I think he met a girl, and they were going to move in together. So then we got Matt, and so Matt and Brian and I moved into this brand new duplex, and we had a rule, no shoes in the house, but because the carpet was light gray, like
bunch of guys living together. Bunch of guys. Did any of you own this condo?
No, we were renting it.
Then what do you care? What do you care if you dirty up the sully up the carpet?
You have a rent deposit. You want it back.
Well, Brad,
and so
Matt, could you please take off your shoes when you come into the condominium?
Well, listen, and you know that we lived in the Northwest. It was very rainy and anyways, so
there wasn't a bunch of guys living at this place. I'll tell you that much right now.
There was.
When you have balls coming at your face, you want to have enough beers to where you don't care.
Brian and I both had girlfriends. I was dating Charlene, and he was dating Jessica, who we all hated.
Yeah,
she was a major.
They were your guys' beards. I get it.
But and Matt was the closest thing you would have confused to be possibly gay, because he was such a neat person, and he had this issue with bare feet. Like, he couldn't stand looking at toes.
Yeah.
And Jessica would walk around all the time, and he would be like, Jessica, put on some damn socks. You're not coming over. So
not only were the rules is that you could not wear shoes, but if you could not wear shoes, you had to wear socks.
Yes, you could not have bare feet, and you could never scrape the fork across your teeth.
This is why roommates are just terrible.
Yeah, Matt was but he was great other than that, and we were good buds. And anyways, we would sometimes Brian would be working. He would go to work at like 10 o'clock, and he wouldn't come back to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And back then, sometimes we'd stay up late drinking, watching basketball games and beers and stuff. And then he would be like, "Hey, let's go down to the cul-de-sac and crank up some Journey." And so there we are in the cul-de-sac. And
let me guess. It was
Nissan Sentra.
It was probably lights, right? Or
it was
holding, touching, squeezing.
I like nuts.
It was lights. It was definitely lights.
It was definitely lights and holding, touching, squeezing.
I'm trying to think. And lights was the big one. What else did we have? Not who's crying now? Open arms. Oh yeah.
Oh God, you guys were just. So my daughter says it. I can actually get away with saying this. It's a reference. You guys were so zesty. You guys were just so zesty.
Yes. So here we'd be sitting out there, 10 ice houses in, or Rainier Ice.
Oh God, you guys have to get drunk too. And you would listen to romantic music while you got drunk at the end of the cul-de-sac away from your other roommates.
When you have balls coming at your face, you want to have enough beers to where you don't care.
Don't Stop Believing, okay? If that makes it any better. More of a banger, as you would say. And we would belt out.
Don't use the term banger in this discussion.
Belt out these tunes, and we would share a pack of Marlboro Lights.
Oh, yeah.
And we would just have the doors open, singing, And then one night the cops show up. And the cops show up and they're like, hey guys, can you just go back to your house? He says, obviously you've been drinking, but that's okay. Just we're around the
Quit
corner.
listening to Journey at the end of the cul-de-sac. I don't want to actually put my handcuffs on you because I don't want to know what you've been doing.
What are you
I love
playing?
the smell of Matt.
You're playing music?
Yeah, it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be romantic music. Hold on a second. Let me try June Wedding instead.
You might want to tell me to turn my music down first. But anyways,
Here we go.
so that is the gayest thing I ever did with another guy that is not gay.
Yeah, that's up there.
And you've never done that?
No.
You never did that. You never sang out loud with
That's
a song.
not true. That's not true.
A
Not a
song
roommate. Not a
with
roommate.
friend.
With you, when I was really drunk, we sang Frank Sinatra songs in my car in my buddy's apartment complex parking lot because they didn't want to listen to Frank Sinatra, and we wanted to listen to Frank Sinatra.
And see how willing I was to do this with you?
Yeah,
Because of Matt.
I have no idea you had experience.
Wow. Okay. That's uncomfortable.
Very good point.
I know. If I'd have known you had experience, I'd be like, maybe we'll go back inside, listen to some Tool or something.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Brought to you commercial free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the Slow County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 01111 911.